The dictionary definition of music is melody and harmony. Melody is the logical progression of single notes. Harmony is chords. Harmony and melody put together is the definition of music. Okay, now what I'm going to do is play, I can be playing here in the key of F, and if I want to play in the key of G, I have to make the 1 land on G. So here's my G note, E, F, G. Now if I play this scale here, I'm playing in the key of G. Okay, so that's how I find it in different keys. A is here. Here's the key of A. Now remember, the band's got to do something for you. They have to be playing an A. If they're playing A, D, and E, you can play this scale, and you're in the major scale. Now let's talk about the first mode, Dorian. Well, actually, Ionian is the first mode. The next mode, Dorian. Dorian is built on the 2nd degree of the major scale. That means the number 2 note of the major scale is Dorian's number 1 note. And you start from there and play through the scale and add whatever that one, you add one more note at the end. Whatever that first note is, you add it to the end. You need 7 notes. You just go up 7, starting at Ionian's number 2. Let me try to demonstrate this so that this makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so again, with that first shape, number 2 is here. That's G. This is a G note right here. Okay? So if I start there and play 7 tones, it's the Dorian mode. That's Dorian. Now Dorian goes in a different whole step, half step arrangement. It's going to follow the major scale starting from the 2nd note though. So what I mean by that, it's going to go whole step, half step, whole, half right there, then whole. Okay, let me say that again. Whole, half, whole, half, whole. Now that last whole step is actually going back to the number 1 note. That's the last note of the scale. Okay, so Dorian mode. Now if I'm going to play in G minor Dorian, I'm going to play in the Dorian mode. I need to play, the band has to do something for me again. They have to play in the key of G, and Dorian is going to work good over minor chords. Okay, so I'm going to play G minor, C minor, and D minor. So if the band's playing, I can play in the Dorian mode. That's what the Dorian mode is. Now, if I want to move Dorian mode to another key, I'm using, again, that first shape, and that's on the master scale form, page 12 of my book. I'm going to make the number 2. When you're looking at it, there's a number 2. I'm going to make that number 2 land on the note of the key I want to play in. Let's say the song is in A minor. Okay, so I'm going to make that note land on A, E, F, G, A. There's the A note. Okay, now I'm going to play the note that's right in front of it, that G note, because that's part of the shape. I'm forcing the 2 to land on A. The note that comes right before it, now this can be confusing to students because they'll say, Greg, you're playing in G major. That's a G note. I'm starting on G. That's true, but the key is A minor. The band's playing in E minor. and I'm forcing the 2 to land on A. That right there, that number is actually now 1. The one that comes right before it is a flat 7. And it's legal to use. It's okay to come down here and play it. Because remember, we're getting to the point where we're going to use the entire neck, not just one scale shape. So that's 1. This now becomes 2. This is flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. Okay, so that's going to be Dorian mode. Now I'm playing in the A minor pentatonic. Or, I'm sorry, A minor Dorian mode. Okay, so now I'm going to play along with a backing track that's in A minor so you can hear what this sounds like, okay? Now, important part about this is that you have to memorize the scale shapes. Once you memorize all of the scale shapes, it makes it a lot easier to be able to play up and down the neck. There's 5 of them in my book. And as you can see, they go, the first one is at the 1st fret, the next one's at the 3rd fret, 5th fret, 8th fret, and 10th fret. They move up and down the neck together, finding those root tones, and they move together. If I'm playing the first scale shape right here at the 3rd fret, whatever key I'm in, that means that the second scale shape is going to start a whole step higher right here. Then the 3rd scale shape will start a whole step higher right here. Then the 4th scale shape is going to start a step and a half higher right here. And the 5th scale shape will start a whole step higher from that. That's the entire fretboard of the guitar. When I'm up here, those notes repeat again down here in the 1st position. So that's how they fit together. Now let's talk about the 2nd scale shape and the minor pentatonic in the Dorian mode. Okay? Now we're going to play this in G. Okay, it's going to be basic 12-bar blues in G. And the G minor pentatonic shape that I want to use is going to be, if you follow down on page 12, it's going to be the scale shape right below it. It starts right here. And the pentatonics are the workhorse of electric guitar play, of lead playing, period. I tell students, when in doubt, play a pentatonic. Pentatonics are like the universal tool. They fit in more situations because there's 5 notes instead of 7. You don't have to be quite as precise with them as far as fitting them in keys or playing them. You can play them over an entire chord progression as long as you're staying within the right key. So pentatonics are very useful, and they're the workhorse of the lead guitar world. So that scale is played here. Now, directly above it is scale shape number 2. We want to play that scale shape in the Dorian mode, and conveniently, the very first note of that is a 2. Remember, Dorian is the 2nd note. Dorian is built on the 2nd note of the major scale. So we make the number 2 land on the note of the key we're playing in. We're playing in G, so there's the G note. So that's where I'm going to locate the 2nd scale shape, and it'll be played like this. Now that mode right there, the Dorian mode and the minor pentatonic, are very closely related.